it seemed like animation was blowing up in a way, like really creative, really surreal stuff that you could never get away with on television, was getting millions and millions and millions of views. And then something changed, whether it was, the dreaded algorithm or whatever it was, watch time, is how videos were started to be judged rather than clicks or views. What are your thoughts on really being kind of at the forefront? Like you are a forefather of YouTube animation, and where are you at now with all of that? Like, what has that journey been like?
No, you're totally right, man. So yeah, there was a period probably from very early YouTube to about 2013 where, and I don't know exactly when it changed. I have no idea the exacts of it, but it was a little bit after that Reply Girl phase. I don't know if anybody remembers Reply Girls, but there was a segment of YouTube that would literally, back when below YouTube videos, they used to have video replies. So if you watch all the YouTube videos, the people in the videos would say, hey, reply to my video, and then whatever. And below the video, you would see these replies. You could see other people's videos. And when this was still a thing, there was a section of YouTubers that would respond to this, but their whole thing was they would respond to every video possible. So they were abusing the system to get views for themselves. And a lot of these people were females of the female persuasion, and they had their big, juicy whatchamacallits out, and so that was how they got clicks. And but they abused the system, and they totally they broke it. And so YouTube removed that. And I think somewhere when they did that, which by the way I'm at the fault of a little bit because I was one of the guys pushing against them. So whatever. But so technically, it's very possible that I'm like 1% responsible for my own demise. Oops. But when they fixed that, for some reason they broke something else in YouTube fashion, where they fix this. They move a pixel to the left of the website. You're like, oh, it's better, and then they fucking break everything else. I talk about biting the hand that feeds you. I'm aware, but somewhere in there, they changed they started favoring watch time instead of views, and so what that meant was that not only gutted animation, but they gutted a lot of musicians, a lot of people that did review stuff. Like even what you do, man, you didn't get a hit like as bad as with the guys, but any type of content that's required any kind of creative, editing or acting or special effects, animation, game, anything, any kind of really creative endeavors took a hit because you could spend a month or two on a video editing and doing all this work. And if your video is 2 minutes long, get 1 million views, you still weren't going to get paid as much as somebody who was churning out, 15-minute videos every day for a month.
Yeah, and it's still like that. I mean, that is really what the landscape is right now. Is you have to hit that 10-minute mark so that you can get the mid roll and the end roll. And if you put out 5 videos a week that get 50,000 views, that's way the cumulative effect of that is a lot more benefits the creator, monetarily, way more than you spending 3 months on some beautifully animated project that's 1.5 minutes long.
Absolutely. Well, I'll give you I'll be totally transparent. I did a video called "Get Out of My Car," and the video got like 20 million views in about a year. And I'm saying that for context, by the way. So if I had done that video in 2012 and I got that many views as quick as I did, you probably would have basically, at least you would have made maybe 40 grand. Okay. If you're going based off like $2 CPM, I made about $1,000 off that. Now, I'm not bitching, but like, come on, man. And the reason that bothers me is because, look, if I don't get paid, I don't get paid, whatever. But it's the juxtaposition of that next to the fact that I know for a fact if you churn out a bunch of, 90 parts of a Let's Play, I don't care if that's what you do as a medium, but that is way more rewarded and favored. A bunch of 10-minute videos churned out over. By the way, they're getting 50,000 views. Nobody's watching them. That gets paid more than somebody getting 20 million views. You think YouTube would favor a system where people are getting a bunch of eyeballs to your website, to videos, but no. So it's not even like if everybody had taken a hit and the whole website had sort of crumbled, I'd be a little bit less bitter about it. But it's the fact that they're heavily subsidizing, for lack of a better term. They're sort of heavily favoring a certain type of content, and I get it. They're a business; they can do what they want to. It's not. You know, I'm not entitled to any sort of compensation. They could pay me nothing if they wanted to.
Right.
But it's the sort of juxtaposition and what they're favoring that sort of it disappoints me more than anything. Because you know, in my opinion, 2006 up until 2013 YouTube, I think, spawned some of the most creative stuff that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And there are still people out there that are making that stuff, you know, not for payment. They're making it because they like to make it. And I fit in that camp too. I didn't make that get out of my car video because I wanted to make a lot of money off of it. I made it because I wanted to make it. But yeah, it's disappointing. I think even just if they tilted the scales back a little bit more, not even fully back to what it was, but a little bit more in favor of views over total watch time, I think you would see a big spark, a big uptick in people making really creative stuff like animation. Because animation, by the way, is a lot different to even live action, even creative live action. You know, where you know you can shoot a video on your iPhone pretty quickly. There's no real shorthand equivalent for animation. I mean, you sort of have a version of that with the story time people, and I respect them. Like, that's a great medium. But for full animation, if you want to be an animator, there's no real equivalent to that. So getting paid was a way to sort of make up that gap, I guess. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that sort of went away. And it's disappointing again.